Hey guys, David. This is Express Auto Transmission. We like to play with transmissions here, and we like having you guys here watching our videos. So thank you guys for watching. Welcome back. We're gonna go see what's on the bench today.
This is the 456 hub. This is the shaft.
The idea behind that is to get as much oil to the fourth clutch as quick as you possibly can. And we've got a beautiful vacuum. We made it back to the bench. Hi guys, I'm excited. We've got Carlos's valve body on the bench today, and we're gonna be wrapping this 6L80 up. This has been a long road. I say long road because he's on a long road away from us. But anywho, this is the transmission for his 07 Cadillac Escalade 6.2 liter 6L80 all-wheel drive. He called us with a code and a slip complaint and a metal complaint. And I say metal is in like metal contamination in the pan, not like Pantera or anything like that. Like not good metal. Anywho, we've got this thing almost wrapped up. We got our transmission built. If you guys haven't watched the video before, I'll tell you just a quick story about what happened. This thing was broke. We fixed it. Ta-da! We put a new from GM input drum. We put a new from GM stator support with stator tube, all new valves. Put the Sonax zip kit in the pump. We done all of our updates inside of the drum that we feel need to be done. We done the Sonax billet 1, 2, 3, 4 piston. We also restacked the drum because, well, if you're gonna do it, might as well do it right. I am a weirdo whenever I'm building my transmissions. I've got a little cheat sheet. And what I do, because I don't refer to the book every time because, well, I just don't. What I do is I sit here and I write down my tolerances, and you guys can look at my chicken scratch. You can tell I am a doctor for sure. These are the numbers we're supposed to have, and these are the numbers I got. So our low clutch, I've got 52 thousandths. Tolerance is 50 thousandths. Our 2.6 clutch, our tolerance is 48. They say it's supposed to be up to 50. 1, 2, 3, 4 has a 60 to 78 number, which is a really broad spectrum number. We've got it at 66. 3.5 reverse, we've got it 45, supposed to be 47, 48. 4, 5, 6, supposed to be 50 to 74, and ours is like 48, 46, right around in there. I stack mine a little on the tight side. We've had debates in the past. Guys have argued and argued until they're blue in the face about soaking clutches and about how much the clutch will grow with the amount of fluid that it absorbs. I personally have not went to any science type colleges. I am not a scientist. I don't exactly know how the clutch absorbs the amount of fluid and grows at the rate that it grows. But what I can tell you, what works for me, is setting my clutches like this, and I set mine dry in a 6L80. A lot of guys set them wet. I set them dry. If you set them wet, that's your own way of doing it. Either way, you suck, and I don't care. I'm gonna do it this way. So now that we've covered what we have done inside of here, you guys all understand why we've done it. We're gonna take the valve body apart. We know this is a Generation 1 valve body. I know that. That's been a super bad problem in the 6L80 since 2007, whenever Gen 1 came out and the world was introduced to the biggest pile of turkeys that they ever seen. But we're gonna fix it right. I keep the AC Delco upside down plates in stock. If you guys need one, can't find one, can't get one, holler at me. I keep a few of them laying around here. I don't know what they're worth, don't honestly care. If you're gonna build one that's a Gen 1, you need to update your plate. We are going to be installing our Sonax zip kit. Well, what's left of our Sonax zip kit. We're going to be installing our clutch select valves from Transgo, and we're going to be installing the Torlon balls that Sonax provides. In this video, we are going to show you a little bit of the vacuum testing we do. In the future, we've got a 6L80 build series coming up that we're going to be building a shelf unit just to stick on the shelf and sell to the next guy that needs one. In that series, we are going to go in depth of vacuum testing this valve body. It's a lengthy process. It's something that takes time, and that's part of why our editing takes time. Is because to do all of this correctly takes time. This is not a 20-minute process. It didn't happen in a blink of an eye. I can sit here and snap my fingers 100 times and show you guys a dirty valve body and a clean valve body. But That part of it takes time. If you want to build one of these right and you want to know that your product is going to last, vacuum testing is key. Whenever I first started in the transmission industry, guys were like, we don't vacuum test. Well, they didn't even say that because it didn't exist. Nobody was vacuum testing at that point in time. But now we have to do that on every valve body that we build. The biggest reason we have to do that is that the valve itself is aluminum, the bore is aluminum, they wear out. Ta-da! Problem solved. Your parts wear out. Who would have ever thought metal parts? They wear out. So, we're gonna get this thing ripped apart. I'm gonna wash it, clean all the metal out of it, get all the junk out of it, and then we're gonna show you guys how to put that stuff in there. So, stay tuned. Get our speed sensors out of the way first off. Get off of there! These little metal tits, they just hang on really nice and tight. So get that out of the way. Keep our 8 on there for these 2 bolts. Grab our 7. We're going to take all the 7s out. Now we're going to flip this dude over. Get this guy out of our way. Come here. Take all our 7s out again. Guys will notice I'm putting all of the Tecum bolts by themselves. Tecum bolts and the rear bolts are different. Tecum bolts and the front bolts are different in their own rights. So that's the reason that we've got all these bolts over here on a rag. I will go through and actually clean all of the bolts and lay them out individually on the bench before reassembly. But for now, I like to keep my bolts separate. I am a master of bolt identification when it comes to the 6L80. If you can't tell which one you got, you let me know and I'll tell you which bolt you're playing with. But these bolts are all different. So keep that in mind. Really not a bad looking Tecum. That is the dumbest thing I have said today. You cannot look at a Tecum and tell if it's bad, good, or indifferent. Do you work today? Yeah, it didn't answer. You're not gonna look at it and find out. So get that thing out of there. Either rebuild it and test all your solenoids or throw it in the trash, buy a Delco one, start over. Sometimes you just got to give her the jiggles. So we know we don't want that thingy. And it's still got the white balls. Pull all of our check balls out. By golly, I think that ball shrank. Do you guys see that? That ball shrank. Mind blown. The reason I was being so suspicious about that, this is an actual problem in the 6L80s. the check balls do shrink after being on the plate forever. And then guess what? It goes through the plate. Alrighty guys, so we've shown you the obvious problems. Now that we've got our balls out, everybody likes to play with their balls out. We're gonna get this thing washed up and get her back on the bench.